So there's a couple of key muscle groups that make you look just absolutely jacked no matter where you go. Calves can be one of them. Automatically, calves can be genetic. You can train them to get bigger. They can be a pain in the ass to get real big though. The other one is just a massive upper back and shoulders. If you have a big back and a big pair of shoulders, you just look huge walking at the mall. But there's one, which is massive forearms, that tells everybody that you mean business. And usually that comes with a really strong handshake and usually some big lifts. And today we're gonna go over massive forearms. The first one that I like to use a lot of is just a band forearm curl. So what I'll do is I'll set my hand here, brace my wrist here, and then I'll just curl this down. As you can see, it's really working those forearm muscles. Now, this is kind of for vain, you know, aesthetics, but I have noticed that the stronger and thicker my forearms got, the more control I had on a bench press. So a lot of these muscles being super strong is going to allow me to press even more weight, because as I press, I'm not gonna change my hand position through my wrist. These muscles are super strong. So when I was competing and hitting big numbers, 600-pound benches and 800-pound benches in a shirt, my forearms were even bigger than they are now, if you could imagine. But I did tons of forearm work to not only protect my bones, but also to give me proper hand position. So I just curl these down, and I usually do around 4 sets of 25, about twice a week, using all different thicknesses and strengths of bands. But a medium band or a light band, something of this thickness nature, will allow you to get a lot of reps and allow you to build up really big forearms and a really strong grip. The next one that I have used for years is just taking a kettlebell and taking the handles and just turning the kettlebell upwards this way. Trying to use mostly in my wrist, turning it this way. As you can see, it's really going to work the muscles of the upper forearm, okay? So doing these types of exercises are really going to hit the top part of that forearm and make it really strong. A lot of people are really weak in this particular situation here. And this brachialis muscle, you want to get really strong. Makes your elbow thicker, makes it more able to take more abuse in the bench press or military presses or any kind of thing that involves the upper arm. If you've noticed guys that are really big bench pressers or really big strongman, they have humongous muscles around their elbows, and if they didn't, their arms would probably break. So in this exercise, it really teaches this muscle to grow and get really strong and thick so that your elbow's protected and you can actually control heavy implements with your wrist. But it makes your handshake super strong, really develops the thumb and all those types of muscles to where when your hands are in this position here, this muscle is going to grow really big and, like I said, protect the elbow. The next big thing is just putting fat grips on all these different types of implements. So we have 2 different size dumbbells here. We have, you know, a 20 or 15 here, and we have, I think, a 65 or something here, 60. So the thing of it is, when I make things that are fat handles, when I pick up this 60, it has made it immensely hard on my forearm to even hold even a 60-pound dumbbell. So training with fat handles, if you don't have the money to buy a bunch of different fat implements, you can get these that just come off and you can put them on almost anything. As you can see, they just open up and you put them on a normal size bar. Those are amazing to have if you have limited equipment or limited money. You can turn almost anything into a fat grip. But training with fat handle type implements is huge to not only gaining massive amounts of hand strength for lifting, but also creating massive forearms. So we try to train here at Wenning Strength, we try to train with a lot of stuff that has fat handles. So when you go back to normal size handles, everything's a breeze with lifting heavy weights, but you also have massive forearms. The next big thing to building up massive forearms, so we showed the fat handle and we showed doing flexion and extension exercises, but the big thing is you got to develop the crushing strength too, which is actually making the hand squeeze down. Now you can do that with those, you know, like the old school captain's a crunch, pinching grip apparatuses, or you can build something like this that we did at the gym. But making your hands actually squeeze together on something is going to make them really strong. So you can see my fingers are spread out about all the way to my fingertips. Then I'm going to squeeze this and hold it tight and go. This is going to make my forearms super strong, especially in this area right here, to give them that whip out right here. That makes everything super strong. This is really good for hand strength. We'll do anywhere from 3 to 5 sets on a lower body workout after deadlifts, or we can train it as a mini workout on our own. The key is though with the crushing stuff is you have to be very careful, because if you wear your hands out with too much crushing, it's going to hurt your ability to deadlift and do those other types of movements because you've already pre-fatigued your hands. So you have to be careful using a lot of crushing stuff. I find that fat handles and flexion extension exercises never bother my deadlift, but if I do too much crushing type exercises to build my forearms, my deadlift can go backwards and then my overall size and strength will be limited. So be careful using too much crushing type exercises because they do wear you out really fast. Try to use a lot of the fat handles and flexion extension movements. You could totally add those in at any time of day or any other workout day or any other day that's off. It's not really going to affect the other movements, but this can. But this is also a great forearm builder.